And so the left, we think the left is so active all over the place. There are all these assaults on the rule of law in all areas of our lives from the left, pushing their agenda. And California is kind of a prime example of that because you have the far left controlling the state politically there. So they pass pretty much every idea they have. And whether the law would allow such policies to be enacted, they don't care. It's, let's do everything we can and we'll see what gets caught up in the law. If it does, it does. If not, who cares? We got it. They tried to, for instance, to mandate the release of tax returns for presidential candidates to get on the ballot, adding an additional qualification to the Constitution's qualifications clause. And Judicial Watch sued and stopped it, along with the president. He filed separately, but we were in court together, practically speaking, and we both won. So we beat them back on that. But they also they also passed a law that they knew was unconstitutional, even under state law specifically, requiring a quota for females on the board of directors of corporations. Unbelievable. Before the bill passed, the California Assembly floor analysis identified a significant risk of legal challenges, obviously. It characterized the legislation as creating a quota-like system and noted this bill, if enacted into law, would likely be challenged on equal protection grounds. So when you tell men they need not apply for certain positions on board of directors, that's obviously a denial of equal protection under the law. The use of a quota-like system as proposed by this bill to remedy past discrimination and differences in opportunity may be difficult to defend. In signing the law in September 2018, then Governor Brown wrote that serious legal concerns have been raised to this legislation. I don't minimize the potential flaws that indeed may prove fatal to its ultimate implementation. He signed the bill anyway, noting, nevertheless, recent events in Washington, D.C. and beyond, Trump, make it crystal clear that not many are getting the message. So they were going to pass, and they signed an unconstitutional law to throw smack at Trump. So they're passing this quota law because they don't like Trump. It's crazy. So we filed a lawsuit on behalf of taxpayers because California has a taxpayer standing statute. What does that mean? It means a taxpayer standing it allows taxpayers to have standing, I should just say. The taxpayers can challenge illegal expenditures to enforce illegal laws. Meaning if there's a taxpayer money being spent to enforce or advance an illegal law, taxpayers would go to court and challenge it and stop it. So, as we say, the legislation's quota system for female representation on corporate boards employs express gender classifications. It's immediately suspect and presumptively invalid and triggers strict scrutiny review. Strict scrutiny is a legal way of saying you really need good reasons to get by here. We're going to look at it closely. And of course, the policies really don't help women. As we note in there's a Boston Globe piece that said, too often such policies are disingenuous forms of virtue signaling that benefits only the most privileged and does little to help average people. Requiring companies to make gender the primary qualification for board membership will inevitably lead to less qualified private sector boards, exactly what happened when Norway adopted a nationwide corporate gender quota. Norway's gender quota led to younger and less experienced boards and deterioration in operating performance consistent with less capable boards. Someone else noted that increasing the number of opportunities for board membership without increasing the pool of qualified women to serve on such boards has led to a golden skirt phenomenon, where the same elite women scoop up multiple seats on a variety of boards. So someone like Susan Rice, Hillary Clinton, Condi Rice, notable women that you've heard of, they benefit from these types of quotas, but few others do. And it harms businesses. So they're in pursuit of this unconstitutional ideological agenda. They would harm businesses that you invest in, either directly or through retirement and other pension funds. And California has essentially admitted we're right. You know why? Because they said we're not enforcing the law. Well, actually, they kind of are, but they're trying to draw a distinction with the court. So they're running away from their own law in part because they know we're right. So what is the court going to do? We don't know. We have a hearing next week on it. So we filed this lawsuit in August. We have the hearing, which should give us a strong signal, typically, as to whether this law is going to be thrown out. Don't you love Judicial Watch doing this work for you?
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.